WMLU 91.3 FM is proud to have brought you the preceding segment of WMRA's programming of NPR. Please stay tuned for student programming. For information about shows and times, please check the web at www.wmlu.org.
Today is Friday, February 28th, 2014, and this is your news. In world news, armed men of uncertain allegiance took up positions at two airports in Ukraine's Crimean region on Friday, fueling concerns about possible Russian military intervention or separatist rebellion in a region with stronger historical ties to Russia than to Ukraine's central government in Kiev. In U.S. news, the Interior Department opened the door on Thursday to the first searches in decades for oil and gas off the Atlantic coast, recommending that undersea seismic surveys proceed, though with a host of safeguards to shield marine life from much of their impacts. In local news, Virginia Cooperative Extension is offering a comprehensive vegetable garden series that will be held the Thursday evenings of March 6th, March 13th, March 20th, March 27th, April 3rd, and 10th at the John Randolph Community Center, about 2 miles outside Farmville in Cumberland County. The workshops will be from 6:30 to 8 p.m., and speakers will be covering topics such as major vegetables that grow best in this area, common diseases and pests, soil amendments, composting, and irrigation. The optional $10 fee covers a printed reference notebook. This news was brought to you by the New York Times and the Farmville Herald. And now for your weather forecast. Today will be partly cloudy with a high of 43 degrees Fahrenheit and a low 23. Saturday will be partly cloudy with a high of 52 and a low 32. Sunday will be partly cloudy with a high of 67 and a low 42. Thank you for listening to WMLU 91.3 FM, the music of Long Green University in Farmville, Virginia. We will now resume your feature programming.
Warning. The opinions expressed on this show are that of the Guild of Geeks and the Guild of Geeks alone. They do not reflect the opinions of WMLU or that of Longwood University.
Hey, all you geeks. It is Friday at 9, and that means it's the Guild of Geeks time. We are a radio show that talks about video games, all things video games, because we eat, breathe, and sleep video games. So, what do we have in store for you today? We have some awesome stuff. In news, we have things that are happening today, like today. And we are doing some awesome highlights for some games coming out or have already come out, like Banished and Kingdom Come Deliverance, and even Smite. And then we have a review of Thief, a very hyped up game that we will be going into in depth later today during the show. First, I would like to introduce the DJs. I am DJ Hotshot.
I am DJ Madman.
DJ Freshy Fresh.
And DJ Flatline.
A little gag that we like to do every week is that we, instead of calling DJ Freshy Fresh by his DJ name, we put a different name entirely through it. So, what do we have this week, guys? Do we have something funny in store?
Come on, any name. Just throw it out.
I've got nothing.
All right, so we'll go from the hat. The name for DJ Freshy Fresh this week is Pretty Princess. Awesome. I love it.
Let's go for round 2?
Nope, Pretty Princess. It is decided DJ Pretty Princess.
All right, let's just get this over with then.
Aw, don't have your feelings hurt. It'll be okay.
It's okay. Those feelings are in another castle.
Wow, that reference. So let's get right into news, shall we, fellas? First up, what do we got, Flatline?
The Elder Scrolls Online beta for this weekend starts today, February 28th at 12 p.m. EST, and it lasts until Sunday, March 2nd at 11:59 EST. There is no NDA, so screenshots and streaming are allowed. I have actually seen a very large number of people streaming the beta on Twitch.tv, a very popular streaming website, and it looks to be doing pretty good.
So are we getting ready for 500 Iron Daggers on the marketplace?
Hopefully not. I hope that stays with some of the past games, because, man, that was a hassle. Next up is Steam Family Sharing has been released. This is great. This is something that I have been waiting for because I love sharing games with my friends and family. I actually have a couple of friends that I'll be really excited to share with because they have games that I don't have, and I have games that they don't have, and it's going to be a great system. You're actually allowed to share with up to 10 other devices and 5 other accounts at any given point in time, and you can always trade on and off who has access and who doesn't. There are a couple things about it, though, that made me wonder how easily I'll want to give access to people. The biggest one is that your account, your games can get VAC banned, Valve anti-cheat, if someone using your account gets caught for cheating or fraud. So you definitely have to be careful who you give access to because it could be a huge problem and get you in a lot of trouble. Also, there will be regional restrictions. Those will apply, and games that require a third-party key or access code won't be allowed to be used. So games that use like Origin can't be shared with other people because they won't have your accounts for those. So that'll be a bit of a problem, but tons of other games will be allowed to be shared, and it's going to be awesome.
Man, I'm really, really excited for that, especially because my entire apartment plays video games, so I can jump on that. Next up, Infamous Second Son, a very, very hyped up game, is going to be bundled with the PS4 for $570. And this bundle has already topped GameStop's bestsellers list. And it definitely overshot Titanfall bundle, which is now 23rd. So PS4 is really, really looking like it's getting over Xbox One. I don't know if you guys have heard anything, but apparently it's doing a lot better in the market.
No, yeah, I mean, Infamous has had a fantastic line going through its entire series. I mean, and I'm really excited for the game series.
Oh man, I am too. I can't wait to take a look at it. Next up, Mass Effect 1 and 2 are on Steam for 75% off. So if you missed these two games or you want to get it on Steam now's your chance. They're $5 each. That is an amazing deal. Seriously, do yourself a favor, get out $10 and get these two games because they are a powerhouse, and I personally loved them. Next up, Madman, what do you got for us?
So, Steam's been doing a lot this week. Now, developers can actually run their own discounts on Steam. So basically what this means is that 2 weeks ahead of time, devs can actually sit around and say, hey, we want to give our game 50% off for people to come out and buy it for a cheaper price. So we're just going to go ahead and put that in with the weekend deals.
All right. Next up, Nintendo killing online services for Wii and DS on May 20th. Online play, matchmaking, and leaderboards will be taken down, but the Wii U and 3DS will not be affected. Some of the games that listeners may be interested in that will be affected for Wii will be Animal Crossing, Let's Go to the City, Super Smash Brothers Brawl, and for DS, Mario Kart DS, and a lot of Pokemon games, including Black, Black 2, White, White 2, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Plat, Diamond, and Pearl will all be affected by this coming down. Some services that won't be affected will be the Wii Shop channel, Nintendo DSi Shop, and video on-demand services. Those will not be affected by this.
And do we have any word on why any of this is happening? I feel like it might just be the downfall of Nintendo, but I haven't seen anything. They're not releasing anything on why.
Personally, I think it's because they're trying to clean up a lot of the services that aren't really doing well for them. It's a lot of stuff that people get without having to give anything to the company. So it's not really they're not gaining anything out of this. So they're probably trying to slim down, and I know they're focusing a lot on the consoles that are the current gen consoles and stuff that will be coming out soon for games. So they're trying to refocus, kind of clean up what they're doing. So although it will, not be good for people who do like these games that are getting affected, but I think it'll be a good thing overall.
Yeah, I really hope so, because I really don't want Nintendo to be just that company that disappeared in our timeline. I mean, like, Nintendo was the gaming console that I started on, Pokemon, Mario, all that stuff, so it'd be really sad if they went away. I'm not sure if I like this move by them, but I do understand it. I'm just afraid that it's going to be like other companies where now they just have things that make them money, but we'll be keeping an eye out for you guys. We'll let you know if we hear anything.
And honestly, Hotshot, I really don't think you have much to worry about. I mean, Nintendo is a pretty strong powerhouse, although it may be shaken up from these past few years, or especially the last year. I think they're gonna recover. It may take some time, but I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon.
I really hope so. What do we have next, Flatline?
Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn beta opened this weekend for PlayStation 4. It started on February 22nd, and it is an open beta, so everyone can play. It is freely available on the PlayStation Store. So if you are a PlayStation 4 user, go and check that out. It was a great game when I played it for PC, so hope you guys will take a look at it.
All right, next up, we've actually got a next StarCraft 2 in Hearthstone tournament hosted by Seat Cup Story at TakeTV.net. And the prize pool for this event is $15,000 for each tournament. So that is a total of $30,000 going for each tournament. And it is going to be, for the StarCraft 2 players, it's going to be a 1v1 matches, but there's a total of 16 players. And then for the Hearthstone, there are 8 players, all fighting for $15,000 again. Some of the casters are Rotterdam, Artosis, and Frodden. And I've actually, whenever I was really interested in the StarCraft 2 scene, Artosis was one of the main people that I looked at for some sort of guidance as to builds and stuff like that. And he's actually playing as a Hearthstone competitive player in this match.
Rotterdam is actually a StarCraft 2 player that I follow on Twitch. When I started playing StarCraft 2 over this last summer, I watched him a lot to learn how to play like the game, like the basic mechanics, and he's a really interesting guy. I really like him, so I'm gonna check this out. Hopefully it'll be pretty good.
Yeah, they do have a lot of talent coming in, especially for the StarCraft 2 side with MC and Grubby coming in. Some very popular names.
Especially with that much money on the line. I imagine it'll be a really, really good match. So if you are interested in StarCraft, or you just starting, or Hearthstone, just check it out. It is definitely going to be worth your time. What else do we have, Madman?
So, over in the UK, the Xbox One received a price cut from £429 to £399. Now, this price cut also includes Titanfall with the bundle. So it's not just the Xbox One like it was last time. It now does include the launch of Titanfall, which is really surprising to me, as well as Microsoft is refusing to give out the retroactive refunds to the people who bought the Xbox One at the original price. So next up, we've actually got Minecraft the movie is in the works.
That is right, Madman. Finally, to celebrate 100 million registered users. That's right, folks. Minecraft has finally achieved this incredible milestone of registered users, and well, they're going to celebrate finally with making a Minecraft movie. You can check out the link on our site for more information, but as of now, just get pumped because it may finally be coming to theaters near you.
Now, do you think this has anything to do with that Kickstarter that got started for a Minecraft movie, where the person who started the Kickstarter didn't ask permission from Minecraft's developers Mojang and had to take it down after he had already gotten, what was it, 100,000 or something like that?
Something like that, but I'm pretty sure it's either unfortunate timing or it may even be a step on his foot for doing this kind of thing.
I hope so. I've always found Mojang to be a pretty funny developer. Okay, guys, that's all we have for news right now. We have to go to a public service announcement, which will be starting momentarily. But if you want to talk to us during the break, go to Facebook or our website. All right, here we go.
Like what you hear on WMLU 91.3 FM, your Longwood University radio station, want to support your local disc jockeys and keep the music alive? Come out to the WMLU Spirit Night at Moe's on Thursday, March 15th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Proceeds from this event will help our shows get the music you love and for our remote DJs to bring them to your campus events.
Awesome. That was an awesome public service announcement. Now, this is the second segment of the show. This is the segment where we talk about highlights, or at least that's what we like to call them. Highlights are games that we've either played a little bit of a beta, we've played a little bit of, we've seen a lot of trailers. Basically, we're just hyped about these games, and we want to tell you because you should be hyped about them too. This week we got a lot of awesome highlights in store for you guys. First up, Banished. This one is my personal one, and I keep whining to the other DJs until it gets put into the highlights. It came out about a week and a half ago, and it was $20 on release, and still is, so go get it. It is basically a village strategy game that really just focuses on that, and that's it. There's no combat, there's no anything that isn't involved in keeping your villagers alive. It is amazing. There are 20 different professions that your people can have, and they actually age per year until they are adults, and then they can work. What I think is awesome about this game, however, is how difficult it really is. It is so hard to get through one winter that it almost discourages you. But it's really what you should be liking about this game, because it's not one of those games where it's like, well, if I want to be a casual player, I can just get on here and, go easy mode or something like that. There are easy settings, but really keeping people alive is way more difficult than I had anticipated. And I have sat for hours in front of my computer just looking at the number of citizens I have and watching it drop and then crying to myself and getting really depressed. It's actually somewhat depressing. I will tell you that. But play it. Play it if you want a strategy game. Honestly, when I looked at this game, I said to myself, this is the game I've been waiting for. So, if you're looking for a village-based strategy game, get this game right now. It's on Steam.
And I actually have heard you talking about Banished a lot with that it's not just snow and winters that will get to you with your population and things like that. Apparently, you've also witnessed a tornado that was completely randomly generated even after you went back and loaded the same save prior to the tornado.
Oh, yeah. And when I saw that little notification at the bottom of the screen, it was so, nonchalant about it. It was like, oh, hey, by the way, a tornado has touched down your area. And I was like, a what? A what touchdown? Oh, my God, no. And then I, was searching around the map, and I found it, and it, creeped up to my town. I was like, no, just turn. Just go somewhere else. Maybe it'll hit that mountain. No, we're right over the mountain. Oh, no, please don't. And then it killed, 30 of my people. And literally just sat there in silence with the game paused, no, how, why, a tornado, what? Because I had heard nothing about that from the communities online. It was so scary.
Honestly, it kind of sounds familiar to Don't Starve, except in this case, you get to be even more tragic by not only seeing one person die, but your entire village die, apparently.
And the kids can die.
Don't talk
actually very sad, but it is an amazing strategy game. So if that's what you're looking for, please do yourself the favor and myself the favor and get that game. It is so good. I want to talk about it all day, but we have to move on, don't we? What do we got next?
next we have. This is not actually the name of the game. Okay, let me make that clear. But because of us being on the radio, we're not actually allowed to say the name. The name is Darned. It's produced by Nineheads Game Studios, and it's actually a horror survival game. Very, very creepy, and it looks really, really good. It's actually in the same kind of core aspect as Evolve, which if you listened to us last time, you'll know a little bit about that as well. It's set up in the 4 versus 1 multiplayer mode, to where you have 4 survivors and 1 ghost that can be summoned into a physical form that is trying to kill you. And so it's actually really, really intense because the ghost runs around and can see you, but whenever it transforms into its physical form, is completely blind unless you have your flashlight on. So basically, whenever you hear this thing transforming behind you into its physical form, which will take apparently roughly 3 to 5 seconds, because it has to mature and manipulate its way into the physical realm, it then is completely blind, and you have to run and hide.
I'm just watching Pretty Princess sit over there shiver as we talk about this game. He's definitely one of those types that is fun to watch horror movies with because he will jump out of a chair completely.
It is not jumping, and besides the name that we have apparently expertly chosen for this segment, it's not. The game itself is phenomenally horrifying. I mean, my scare is just startling. It's not terror. It's just I am incredibly startled by such awesome gameplay.
Yeah, we were actually watching a couple videos on people trying the game out, and it was so funny to watch some of these people streaming the game with a video of them just screaming in video and audio chat with their friends and freaking out when the monster came after them.
I want to be with you, please. Where are you? You don't want to be with me right now.
Oh man, I love the trailer. It's actually on Steam, and we'll put it on the website later tonight so that you can see it there too. It is in alpha right now, so now is definitely the time to jump on it if that sounds like the kind of game that you want. It's $15 on Steam, but, and get this, if you buy 4 games at once, it's $40. So I'm pretty sure the Guild of Geeks is going to be grabbing it this spring break, and maybe we'll get up a video or two if Pretty Princess will allow us.
So yeah, pretty much a bundle to lose your friends all in one night.
Yes, in a very dark and creepy way.
It's not like we planned anything like this or anything, but I really enjoy making fun of him about getting so scared and calling him Pretty Princess in the same sentence, and him not being able to do anything about it.
I'm sorry that Amnesia was such a hard game for me to get through. No, seriously, folks, I only got through the first level, and I'm just... no.
You weren't even playing. You were watching Madman play.
There were other times where I still have it on my Steam, and it haunts my library.
To be fair, that is a scary, scary game.
All right, but that's not the highlight that we're doing, kiddo. We gotta move on, right? We ready to move on?
Yep, we've got Kingdom Come Deliverance next, produced by Warhorse Studios. And this is actually a realistic single-player RPG that's set in medieval Europe. Now, something really, really interesting about this Kickstarter is that it originally had the goal of £300,000. And by the time that it ended, it actually reached £1.1 million.
And for those of you at home, that is $1.85 million US. That is so much money for a random Kickstarter. I mean, seemingly random. Apparently, it had inspired quite a good amount of people. I think it was 35,000 backers when I looked at it last. It was an insane amount of money.
So yeah, I mean, if you don't believe us at all, just come back to these. These are figures, people. These numbers don't lie, and you gotta think, if people are going to go that far over the Kickstarter, it's gotta be a hyped up game that you should really check out.
We have pretty much no information for you, unfortunately, past that. We don't know when it's coming out. It said 2014. But they are currently working on it. The trailer is actually in-game footage, but from what you can probably expect, it's kind of the only in-game like stuff that they have at least ready for us. We've only seen the one trailer, which is on their Kickstarter, and that's pretty much it. But from that trailer alone, it looks amazing. I cannot stress it enough.
Now, I decided that I was going to use 1 hour of my life and watch a live stream of this, and it was actually the lead producer who was sitting around and playing the version of it. And oh my goodness, was this a 1 hour well spent, because I got to see so much of the intricacies that they're actually putting into this. And with the build that they were on, or the like beta version if you want to call it that, they actually had what they considered to be too much old English voices. So their voice actors really did go the distance with how they spoke, but they've realized that, and they decided that, hey, we're going to bring it up a little bit more to modern day, and we're going to change the sounds and the voices. So
one thing I am interested in, just from the trailer that we saw, the initial trailer that is, large scale battle is mentioned. Now, I didn't see our video that you did see, but large scale battle is something that really interests me personally. Did they go into that at all? Is there like any more information about it?
There actually is. And what they've said is that this is a single player RPG. And they've said that, hey, we like there to be a lot of build up to a gigantic main battle. This isn't going to be some reoccurring thing that happens every 30 minutes. No, this is going to be a lot of build up. There's going to be a lot of tension on this main battle. This is definitely going to feel like a castle siege, and you're going to know that you are going up there and you are raising those ladders to try and take these castles.
Oh, that's awesome, because I have seen large-scale battles in a couple games previously, but it's really hard to do well. So hopefully they do a really good job with it, because I will be super impressed.
However, with that gameplay that has been seen, I mean, for a lot of other games it's been shaky, but considering what they've powerhoused with in demonstration, I am pretty sure they're going to be able to make, if they do go down this route of large-scale battle, I'm sure they'll be able to hold it up tenfold, even.
I mean, what you can really take away from this is it is going to be, from what I can see from these trailers, is the most realistic RPG we're going to have seen in our time. And that's really what I'm most excited for.
And to bring to that realism, they actually have an entire fencing department. They have an entire medieval style fencing department where they're doing live action recording to put into the video game, and all of it looks beautiful. I watched about, 10 minutes of just straight combat.
It really does look good. And that trailer will also be on our website, but you can also go to their Kickstarter. It's Kingdom Come Deliverance, if you didn't get that at the beginning. Next up, Smite. This is specifically really cool because during this time, if you were to give Smite, the developers, which is Hi-Rez Studios, $30 right now, you will get all the champions that were previously in the game and any new ones that are coming out, because the beta is ending this March. So if you made an account and you haven't played since, or if it sounds like something that you'd like, definitely go and give them your money, because it will definitely pay off in the end.
Now, Smite is, for those of you who don't know, a free-to-play third-person MMO, not MMO, I'm sorry. It's a third-person MOBA. So, Dota 2, Han, Heroes of Newerth, and League of Legends are all games that are MOBAs. Then they're very similar, but you use your standard WASD FPS shooter-esque controls to do most of the in-game stuff with your 4 abilities on key bindings 1, 2, 3, and 4.
And these games are usually the very high action, very quick, 5v5 usually. And there are a lot of what esports is circled around right now. So definitely a good game. And if that's what you're looking for, check it out. It is pretty much League of Legends style, but it's over your shoulder instead of above. And they use all Greek, Roman, and some other other gods, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember the whole list. It's a pretty long list, but if you like mythology, definitely check it out.
And also something that League of Legends does not do is every single thing in the game is a skill shot. You have a chance to miss everything, including basic auto attacks, which is really, really impressive on the skill cap of dodging your basic auto attacks.
All right, that was Smite. Definitely check it out if you are a high mechanics kind of player, or if you just want to try it out. It's free to play right now, so go look online, and we'll put something on the website maybe if we can find a good trailer. Right now we are going to break for weather. We'll be back in 31 seconds, to be exact. And when we get back, we will be doing our review of Thief. So stay tuned.
Now for your weather forecast. Today will be partly cloudy with a high of 43 degrees Fahrenheit and a low 23. Saturday will be partly cloudy with a high of 52 and a low 32. Sunday will be partly cloudy with a high of 67 and a low 42. Thank you for listening to WMLU 91.3 FM, the music of Long Green University in Faulkner, Virginia. We will now resume your feature programming.
Oh man, those breaks get shorter and shorter. I feel like I didn't have enough time, but I'm okay. Here we go. Thief, the review. It is a very, very hyped up game right now. But honestly, as the Guild of Geeks, we're not sure why. A lot of the reviews are coming in, and it doesn't look good for Thief. Thief is a game. I forgot to write it down. Who is it by, Madman? I know you remember.
It's actually produced by Square Enix, the same people who Deus Ex. And Flatline, I believe you're coming in with who actually created the game, because that's evading me currently.
Yeah, the game was developed by Eidos Montreal and published by Square Enix. So Square Enix is the publisher, Eidos Montreal is the developers.
Thank you, fellow DJs. I kind of dropped the ball there. That's my fault. What are you going to do? So, what do we want to start off with? You guys want to start off with game mechanics. Game mechanics are pretty much you interacting with the game, all the buttons that you hit and how the game reacts, and a lot of the core concepts of the games, like, Halo jumping is a game mechanic. So, what do we think about game mechanics, guys?
Personally, they were, to use DJ Flatline's word, kind of wonky. And
kind of wonky indeed.
A lot of them, I understood where they were going with it, but in a lot of the trailers, they were sitting around saying, hey, anywhere on the map, you see it, you can go there. Go, do things, yes. Free running everywhere, yeah. But in the actual reality of it, it was very limited as to what I could decide that I wanted to jump up onto and do things of that sort of nature.
Honestly, when they came down to it, as wonky as a lot of the movement was, one thing caught me when I was playing the game, and it was that there was only one button to do free roaming, which at first does lend to the ease and if I just want to go somewhere, I just go somewhere. It just seems curious. It just seemed kind of restricting, as Madman said that. Well, this is restricting. It's all you could really do with just one button.
You were playing on the Xbox 360, correct?
Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry about that miscommunication.
Oh, no, it's fine. Just for you listeners, Madman, Pretty Princess, and Hotshot.
No, I remember.
They did indeed play it on the Xbox 360, while myself, I played it on the PC.
Well, as far as playing goes, considering Flatline here did everything on the most trying and difficult settings he could possibly dig up.
Which, to be honest, is my favorite part of this game. I think it's what they got right, and it's everything that's outside of the actual gameplay, which is somewhat telling in and of itself. But they pretty much let you customize the difficulty, and I really, really enjoyed that.
Oh man, their options are amazing. There are so many things you can do. Some of the settings I was playing on, I could not knock out or kill anyone. No humans, no animals. I could not be detected. If I did, I would fail. And my favorite, if I fail at all, I have to restart the entire game.
Including the prologue, including the tutorial, ladies and gentlemen.
But I believe, Flatline, you have a pretty funny story about this going poorly, don't you?
Oh, is this about Fat Garrett?
Oh man. So what he's referring to by Fat Garrett, Garrett is the main character, the master thief, if you will. One of the options is that you move slower. I would say about half speed. So when I started the game, I was crawling through at a walk. So slow, in fact, that if I crouch down and press my button to walk slowly, I actually don't move at all. That's how slow I will move. And to the funny story, the first time I attempted all of the hardcore options, I had turned on everything. I turned off all the HUD and game options. I was getting through the prologue. I was about halfway through, and I decided to stop and turn off the HUD options because I hadn't done that yet. And when switching the graphics quality from high to low, because I didn't want there to be any interference in case I mess up and have to restart, the act of switching failed me. I don't know how, but I clicked on those low settings and I failed.
I actually remember this because you were in chapter 1, which is right after the prologue, and you were inside of, spoiler alerts, the jewelry shop right next to where the woman sits down and sleeps. And you decided, Madman came up, me personally. I said, hey, what does this game look like on all maxed out settings? Like, what's up with your video settings? And he decides, okay, I'm going to bump up my graphic settings. He goes back into the game. It's running kind of slow. He's like, all right, I'm going to tone him down. Going to bring them all back down to low. Comes out of the menus and game over. You've lost.
So it's your fault.
Yes.
That's what we're getting at here?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're
Thank
getting
you.
at.
Thank you for making me fail my first attempt at hardcore.
I love you too.
So, folks, you heard it here. You can now vote. You can put up on Facebook, put up your own voting poll or whatever to see what was more tragic, Hotshot's unfortunate demise of his banished village, or Flatline's one chapter settings failure.
We are a little depressing tonight. Why is that? I guess it was just this game kind of bummed me out, honestly. I was really, really excited for this game. I thought it was going to be the end-all, be-all stealth game. And what it ended up being was a cluster of just bugs and graphic errors. And there were so many times where somebody was holding something and I'd knock them out or something. And the thing that they were holding is just floating in the air ominously. Like, is that guitar ever going to fall? Or...
The chairs. Let me explain this, because this made all of us mad as madman. If NPCs are sitting in chairs, and you when they're sitting in chairs, they're usually sleeping, by the way. And if you walk up and go to knock them out, you will swing your club, and they will fall to the floor. It's very, very... not fluid at all. You kind of just swing your club in front of you and they just fall.
There are these amazing takeouts in combat. If you were able to get somebody down on their knees, you were able to, hold up your club and then you knock them out, one finishing move, and it's really well choreographed. And then they really phoned it in for the chairs. You literally, your arm goes through the chair, through the person, and then they just kind of flop to the ground. And it is so unsatisfying, I don't even do it anymore.
Yeah, chairs just seem to get no love in this game.
Yeah, but on that topic though, I mean, amidst our bashing parade, let's take a brief moment and talk about what actually did work. I mean, to open that up, I actually really did enjoy some of the game mechanics that came with unlocking chests and unlocking chests and certain aspects of the actual free running though.
Yeah, I mean, don't get us wrong here. There is a lot to make this game, not fun to play. But I feel like this entire game is a perfect gem of a stealth game, but it is completely shrouded in bugs and poor dialogue and cheesy one-liners and audio mess-ups. But that little bit that you get when you are sneaking around or you go to pick a lock, it feels so natural that it's such a shame that I can't enjoy this game fully because of how many times that I've died because I've accidentally hit the wrong button and I've decided to parkour across the entire city and I can't stop myself. You laugh, man. I was raging. I was mad, and I'm not even mad, man.
But when it does come down to it, aside from all of the atrocities that really did, unfortunately, I don't want to say ruin, but in its own sense, kind of ruined this game. I couldn't help but feel that it really resembled, be it in a sense of unfortunate timing or just a matter of the studio unfortunately copying or whatever the story is. I felt really reminded of the game Dishonored, though.
Yeah, it definitely had that feel to it, but I don't know. It feels like they phoned it in. I was so disappointed because watching the trailers, which if you go right now, it's still on our website. It's going to be up for the next week. It looks so good in the trailer. They hype it up so well, and honestly, if I was going to rate the trailers, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. It looks like an amazing game. And then I sat down and started playing it, and it felt like they spent 95% of their budget and time on just one aspect of the game, one like the very tiny stealthy stuff. And then when it came to getting voice actors and it came to cutscenes, I just don't know what they were doing. I have no idea. I was so disappointed.
Yeah, I'm sorry I keep harking back to it, even though this is a review of Thief. But if you look at the game side to side, it's almost impeccable if you look at it carefully. I mean, the focus meter that's being used in Thief is very reminiscent of the mana-esque meter that's used in Dishonored. A lot of the characters seem to portray rather similar stuff. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of details don't come to mind right now, and this is unfortunate for you, the listening audience. But if you just play through even the first chapter, you can already see a lot of details harking back to Dishonored.
Yeah, but if I wanted a game that was like Dishonored, I'd probably play Dishonored, because Thief really just, I don't know. I shed a tear when I started playing Thief. I can't express that enough. I will say it every time I come to the mic. I was disappointed with this game.
But when it comes back to it, I mean, coming back to the original point, we can't, all of us really can't speak directly for, we really can't speak directly for how the game is in its entirety. Because even though I'm technically the farthest in the entire group, I still haven't beaten the game, which we will keep you guys updated as the series continues, and we'll give you the full lowdown of this ending and the storyline. But we're still plowing through this entire debacle.
So to come to a new point, the replay value, I think, for this game actually isn't that bad. Regardless of how poor and buggy a lot of the game tends to be, because of all of the options they have available that you can change in and out, the different HUD settings you can do, the different difficulty levels, I think there is a very good opportunity for people who have finished the game to replay it in a different way, especially because of the 3 different play styles they have, Ghost, Predator, and Opportunist. There is a lot you can do differently if you would like to restart the game and try it on a harder difficulty, or try and beat it with a different play style. If the first time you played it, you were knocking out everyone, doing it safely. If the second time you want to try not hurting anyone and be a ghost. So I think they did a decent job with that.
Also, there's the entire loot system within the game, and they actually tell you, hey, you collected 56 out of 80 things, you got X%, and you should try and get more things, and there are different collectibles that you stash away for yourself and stuff like that. So I do think that adds a lot of replayability to the game.
And also in each of the main missions, there are side quests, which considering how some of them do contradict each other, I'm pretty sure the devs meant for many of the levels to be replayed again. You'll be going through a lot of side objectives that are like, don't kill anyone, don't be seen, or collect a certain amount of loot. Other than that, replay value, I agree with you guys, it's phenomenal.
All right, guys, that was our review of Thief. If you're looking for a stealth game, I do suggest you check it out. Be hesitant to spend money on it, though. It is $60. And to sum it up, the Guild of Geeks gives Thief a 5 out of 10.
And
it's actually $50, not $60.
Oh, man, I could have. No, I spent $60 at GameStop for the Xbox version. It
Oh.
might be $50 on Steam.
PC is $50 on Steam. Xbox 360 is $60.
My apologies, dear listeners. I was mistaken. But still, that's a lot of bank. So be careful. Be wary with this game. We have to break for another public service announcement, but we'll be right back after that. So stay tuned, guys.
Do you like games? Like any kind of games? Do you enjoy hanging out with other gamers savvy and quirky pop culture references? If you said yes, then you, dear listener, belong in the Longwood University Gaming Club. The Longwood Gaming Club plays everything from Cards Against Humanity to Halo 4 every Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. in Heiner 207. For more information, contact Daniel Miller at daniel.miller@live.longwood.edu.
That is the gaming club, and we do enjoy frequenting their meetings. So if you'd like to, meet us or meet some other gamers, check it out. What time did you say on Tuesday?
Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. in Heiner 207.
Very, very, very nice. Okay. Oh, this is probably, I think, my favorite segment. This segment we like to call the grab bag. And what that is viewers, listeners, friends, they've all given us awesome questions or points that they want us to talk about, and this is our segment for doing it. So, what we're going to do now is randomly flip through our questions, pull one out, and address it. And if you'd like to ask us a question, even if it's not gaming related, even if you're just like, why is DJ Flatline's hair green? Or how did he feel about Pretty Pretty Princess this week? Feel free. Send us something on Facebook. Text us at 434-288-002. Twitter, Tumblr, we got all of it. So I'm sure you can find us. We even have the website, theguildofgeeks.com. So send us something, and we would love to address it. If you did send us something, especially if it was in the last couple of minutes, we probably didn't get to it, and we'll either answer it offline or we will get to it next week. So what do we got, Madman?
Selecting a card here, and our first card of the day is, what are your thoughts on professional gamers, the money they make, their job stability, and other aspects of their lives?
That's a really good question. Wow. And who submitted that?
DJ Madman, of course.
Well, thank you, DJ Madman. That is a great question.
You're welcome.
What I think is that professional gaming is a totally viable career path, at least for people at a younger age, because I think that video games are a great way to keep your mind active. If you want to focus on that, a lot of video games these days, you need quick reactions, you need sharp thinking, you have to think on the spot. So games like MOBAs, FPSs, strategy games require a ton of thinking. You have to be pretty intelligent to play a lot of these games, and at a professional level, games like League of Legends, even games like Call of Duty, you have to be really good and really quick to play these games at such a high level.
Also, I'm pretty sure the entire world of gamers is going to be changing, because also with the introduction of VR systems like the Oculus Rift and especially the Omni, we could be looking at an entire transformation of the audience that participates in the entire gaming sports industry.
That's true. And one industry that's actually skyrocketing is streaming. Websites like Twitch and Azubu are really popular. People actually stream for a living. I personally watch a lot of League of Legends streams, and some of these people make a lot of money streaming because they've got such a large audience with subscribers that so many people are watching that they make quite a bit of money off of just streaming for 6-8 hours a day.
I think it's really interesting, and what I'm really excited for is possibly, hopefully, at some point, instead of ESPN or and ESPN, there'll be like an esports channel or something like that, because I think it's a huge area that nobody is really addressing on, nobody is really grabbing, and some of these League of Legends tournaments, and we talked about the StarCraft tournament. These are huge tournaments with people who are putting their jobs on the line, and I think they really deserve a lot of support and respect. So I really, really like the professional scene.
Yeah, I mean, or we could also go with the Guild of Geeks ESPN channel of some sort.
Yeah, we'll get right on that, pretty princess.
Regardless,
we might have to get some more viewers.
Yeah, regardless, I do agree with you, Hotshot. I mean, I just wish Godspeed to some of these gamers out there that have their entire careers based on this. I mean, it's one thing to do something that you're good at and be paid for it, but I just feel like there's a lot more stress coming from the gaming audience onto these guys for this entire sport. I mean, I just feel like his entire audience is supporting them in a completely different light than what we typically see in normal sports.
Yeah, it definitely is a different audience. Something I do want to bring up, though, is although I think it is professional gaming is a great opportunity for people, especially at younger ages, it has been said, particularly about from League of Legends players, that it's not necessarily the best, especially teams that don't have really stable and mature managers and coaches. It can get pretty tough, especially if you don't live in the same house, and even if you do, you have to live with a bunch of other people probably around the same age as you, and at a young age, that can be kind of hard.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. And in terms of the stability, what we see in the Korean scene especially is the teams aren't quite as set in the starting five as they are in the European and North America scenes. The Korean scenes, they change the top 5 starting players over and over and over again. And in the OGN series, they actually have the last match of the Masters be where you can sub people out and change that starting lineup if you want.
Yeah, that's a great point. You don't really see it too often in NA and EU, but the players are changed a lot. In fact, in NA, I can only think of a couple times where people are subbed in, and that would be CLG and TSM, with actually the coaches, Hotshot, GG, and Reginald subbing in for players when they couldn't make it. So there's definitely a big difference between the two regions. Maybe that's something that we'll see that will be a huge difference between them, especially in the future if professional gaming continues to grow the way it is how different regions control how players follow this particular career path.
Yeah, I'd be so nervous to be a professional gamer. You could just lose your job, your livelihood, like next day. All of a sudden, the game that you play isn't popular anymore. Something crazy. I don't know. It would be so nerve-wracking. You guys want to move on? What else we got, Badman?
Sure. Our next comment actually comes from Bryce, one of our good friends here at Longwood University. And he asked us, with ESO, Elder Scroll Online, coming out soon, do you think a MMO with a box fee plus subscription fee can survive in this day and age?
And if you aren't aware of this, Elder Scrolls is a series that has been a huge huge game of RPGs, open box. You get to walk around in a forest for hours and hours and hours. And now they are making a MMO online, which is, you get to play with your friends, same forest, but now there's 30 of your friends, and you all get to do the same mission and stuff. It's really awesome. But we've been hearing some pretty startling things about it, and you have to buy the game initially and then pay each. I think it's month. I bet you could do a year. I'm sure, but you have to pay each month to keep playing it online, and it's a really good question because I'm not sure. It's quite the grab for money.
Historically, subscription MMOs, at least used to be a common thing. Back when I was a kid, I played a couple of the more popular ones like EverQuest and World of Warcraft. And in my opinion, subscription is the way to go for MMOs, because subscription means the company are still getting money after the initial sell, which means they'll want to put more into the game. So what I like most, and this will be the most vital thing, is player support. Player support is vital for MMOs, because if the players aren't happy, they're going to stop. And once they've stopped, that's it. The company isn't getting anything else. So getting money continually, monthly, is a great thing for these companies because it'll allow them to spend more time and more resources on these games to make them lasting, which is great for the gamers.
And I don't actually think I know of too many video games that have been able to do a box price plus a subscription fee. It just, none come to mind whenever I think about something that was lasting and somebody actually continuously played it.
Yeah, it's definitely something that a lot of people don't really like, because that is a lot of money, having to pay up front and then pay over and over and over again if you play for a long amount of time. That is definitely a lot of money you will be dropping.
If that's $15 a month and then a box price of $60, that's $75 up front. That is your collector's edition for most people.
And like we saw in Thief, a game can look amazing and really drop the ball when it actually comes to sitting down and playing this game. And $75 is so much to put up on front. I'm not sure their beginning sales will be enough to have the kind of support that Flatline was talking about. I'm not sure. I don't think that they can do it, honestly.
I do want to reserve my final opinion until it comes out and we see how it goes. But you do make a good point. This is gonna be kinda hard. It might not end the way they want it to, but you never know. We'll see when it eventually comes out, if it does go the way they planned, and a lot of people do buy and play this game for a long period of time.
Awesome. Hopefully that answered your question, Bryce, wherever you may be. If it didn't, let us know and we'll try again next week. I think we have time for one more, so go ahead and grab in that bag, Madman, and we'll see what we pull out.
All right, so I know a bunch of you guys here have been watching it, but what are everybody's here thoughts on Twitch Plays Pokemon?
Well, we did that last week, but today, they finally did it. They beat Pokemon. It took them 15 days and 19 hours, but somewhere in the tens of thousands of people all trying to mash the buttons in Pokemon finally made it their way through. But I'm not sure if it's a testament to like the gaming community or if it's a testament to your old turn-based games where if you put in enough of the right buttons, you'll eventually get there, like through some kind of Murphy's Law.
That is a good question. As we mentioned last week, they did implement the Anarchyverse democracy system, and democracy did take place a couple times in the game, and that makes me wonder, did they accomplish what they were trying to accomplish? I don't really know. If they're changing how the game was played in the middle of the game, I'm not sure I'm happy with how it ended, although it was really interesting. It, could have changed how quickly the game was finished by switching it to democracy, where the turns got voted, and then after 10 seconds, the one with the highest votes was the one done for that 10 seconds. So
I'm just really happy that they did something like this. I thought it was really, really interesting. A really good social test of the gaming community and, the trolls that are out there. Not to say that none of us were, or any of us were vigilant on the anarchy. I'm looking at you, DJ Flatline.
I must be vigilant.
What they're talking about, I must be vigilant. I was constantly spamming Anarchy because that was the one I liked. I liked the most. And as I spammed it, I was muttering to myself, I must be vigilant.
It was actually very entertaining. It was very Batman-like. That's the end of the show. In fact, we have like 25 seconds, so bear with me on how quickly this has to be. If you liked the Guild of Geeks, go on our website and do the same. Theguildofgeeks.com, Facebook, all the good stuff. But we are now ending, and we must go back to NPR. So, thank you for listening to Student Programming on WMLU 91.3 FM. For program information, please check the web at www.wmlu.org. WMLU is proud to present the following segment of NPR courtesy of WMRA in Harrisonburg.